Welcome to the first episode of Bro Talk Sports with Leo and Luke. We were hoping to stream before the Super Bowl. We had some real life things that got in the way of doing it, but we're here now. YouTube's preventing us from doing a live stream, and so we're going to record this first video and get it up on the channel, and hope by a couple days from now we'll actually be able to live stream and be able to talk to people. So I guess I'm going to pass over to you, Luke. I'm going to throw the ball to your court. I want to ask what you thought about the Super Bowl.
Yeah, man, absolutely. I thought the Super Bowl was okay. I've seen more exciting Super
It
Bowls,
was
but I've
such a
also
boring
seen
Super Bowl, wasn't it?
it was too. I've seen more boring Super Bowls. The Super Bowl in 2019 when it was the Patriots and Rams, that was probably the all-time most boringest Super Bowl I've ever seen. I think the final score was I think the Patriots won 13-9. It was so boring. That's when the Rams had Jared Goff, and Jared Goff probably shouldn't have even been there if we're being honest. But they had a really good defense. That was a boring Super Bowl, but this Super Bowl,
Come
it
on,
was
Jared
just
Goff is A tier, man. He belonged in
yeah.
that Super Bowl. You know it.
Debatable. I mean, he's good enough
Jared
to win a
Goff's
Super
he's
Bowl.
Hall of Fame material, man. He's going
Oh,
Hall of Fame.
okay, Hall of Fame is a bit much
You
there.
know it.
But I do like Jared Goff. I do think Jared Goff is. I think he's a B quarterback. I think when he has the right
Cast
weapons
around
around
him.
him,
Yeah,
yeah, I think he can win a Super Bowl.
for sure.
I honestly do. But that Super Bowl back in 2019 was the most boring one I've ever seen. Um, but this Super Bowl definitely was up there with boring because what people want to see in the Super Bowl is God, they want to see explosion. They want to see a lot of offense. They want to see teams just going up and down the field. I don't know if you remember some of those Super Bowls in the 90s when it was like the Packers and the Broncos. It was just back and forth shootout. Those Super Bowls are fun.
This Super Bowl,
Um,
there were, as I recall it, 12 points scored in the basically the first half that were all just 3-point field goals.
yeah, it was. I think it was 9-0. I think there
It,
was nine
it
points,
was it was I'm pretty sure it was 12.
and it might have been
I
12.
think
It might have
I'm
it
pretty
might have
sure it
been
was
12.
12 points that were kicked by the
Yeah,
Seahawks, and I'm pretty sure it was a 12-0 game. I'm trying to remember. I'm pretty sure it was,
right.
wasn't it?
You might be right. I know there was only field goals, and it was 9-0.
It was
I think I
brutal,
went and
man.
got snacks right before, so there might have been
You got bored and
like a
went
field goal
snacks.
right. I did. I got bored. No one got snacks. I was like, this is boring.
Yeah.
Right before halftime, so there might have kicked another field goal. All I know is there was like no offense. I thought that the Seahawks were going to come out the way that they were throwing the ball around the field and running the ball. Their first possession, I mean, they were moving the ball, and then they settled for a field goal, and then it was like nothing after that,
Yeah. Yeah,
which
for
was
for
which was
sure.
kind of boring. But what were your thoughts of the Super Bowl?
I was the same, man. I was just like so bored out of my mind in that first little bit, and I don't know, it was almost like uh it felt like the Space Jam. You remember when all the little puny cartoon characters get put up against the
Hmm.
monster aliens that are on whatever steroid that they're on, and they just are getting crushed? That's what it felt like. It felt like the
Yeah.
Seahawks were the monsters that were put up against the Looney Tunes, and the Looney Tunes were the
Yeah.
Patriots. Now, I say that with full love because I lived in Massachusetts for a while. I'm a Patriots fan. A lot of people hate
Hmm.
me for that, especially
Hmm.
through the Brady years. I always rooted for the Patriots, and people just, they thought I was bandwagon. But no, I lived for a
Hmm.
while. I lived right there by that Foxborough Stadium, and I drive past it almost every day. And so I'm a huge Patriots fan, but yeah, it felt like it was the Looney Tunes versus that alien race, and they were just getting squashed. And felt like maybe they got a little bit of there was a little bit of hope that was drawn alive there, they're in the end of the game. And then, man, it just got taken away when Drake May threw that interception. And when he had that fumble on that attempted pass, when he turned it over two times in a row, it was just a dagger to the heart of every Patriots fan. and every New England
Right.
fan out there. It was pretty rough
Right.
to watch that. At the same time, I was really excited for Sam Darnold. I feel like Sam Darnold's kind of like this Cinderella story. We've just been, kind of watching this. I think he's been between 5 different teams now, right? And
Yeah.
last year he kind of came up out of necessity into quarterback one for the
Mm-hmm.
Vikings. And then why the Vikings let him go will forever evade me. I don't understand after the season he had last year why they
JJ
let him
McCartney,
go.
man.
I
JJ
yeah,
McCarthy.
let's talk about how that played out or don't.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, for sure.
like letting Darnold go and then letting him go onto the Seahawks. And then, to be honest, even though I'm a Patriots fan, I was kind of rooting for Sam Darnold because of that. He was kind of the
Mm-hmm.
Cinderella man. Like, he just, I don't think people were expecting it. I think there was even a game you and I were watching right before the fantasy season ended. I don't know if you remember this. It was right before playoffs, but you and I were watching the game together. And Sam Darnold was getting booed out of his own stadium by the Seahawks fans. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do. I
And
do
they were
remember
just
that.
they were just booing him like crazy. And then he had this insane, crazy fourth quarter comeback. It might have even been in overtime. We'd have to go look up the game to remember exactly, but
Yeah.
he ended up winning that game. And I just remember thinking, like, it's so ironic because this is like the story of Sam Darnold is everybody doesn't believe in him, and then when it comes to game time he shows up and he puts out a game. And he did that during the Super Bowl. I think that he just absolutely rocked it. He did such a great job. It surprised me actually that he didn't get MVP and Kenneth Walker did. It really surprised
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, that really surprised me as well. Yeah, Sam Darnold is super underrated. I even think, I mean, he was a high draft pick. He got drafted by the Jets. I can't remember exactly what year that was. I'd have to pull it up to remember what year. But even coming out of USC, I still felt like he was a bit underrated. But he went to the Jets, and even when he was with the Jets, I mean, the Jets organization. It has been just kind of a poor organization for quite some time now. I mean, they've had so many different quarterbacks go through there
Yeah.
and just high draft picks and quarterbacks just not being successful there.
I mean,
Um,
let's look at Aaron Rodgers, right?
mhm.
Like
Even
Aaron
Aaron
Rodgers
Rodgers,
last year did a stint there, and it was awful. And then you see him
I mean,
moved over to playing. He played for the Steelers this year, right? And
yeah,
he had some phenomenal games. I mean, he looked like old Aaron Rodgers just shredding it up out there. I just think that,
he did
there's some fundamental problems within the Jets,
just within the
particular.
organization.
Yes, exactly, and
Yeah.
particularly with their offensive structure and the way that they handle players. I think that there's some big
Yeah.
problems there.
No, and I think with Sam Darnold, his story is a Cinderella
It
story. I
is.
think it's very fascinating. He comes from USC, he goes to the Jets, and even with the Jets, he put up some flashes. Yeah, there was a lot of poor games in there,
Hmm.
but there were some times where he'd make some throws, and you're like, okay, that was the top five draft pick that everybody was talking about, that everybody fell in love with Sam Darnold while he was at USC.
Yeah.
So he leaves the Jets. I think he went to the Niners after that. I'm not exactly sure. But when he did end up with the Niners, I honestly think that Kyle Shanahan, he is the quarterback whisperer. I mean,
Yeah.
he has done so many great things with some low tier, not even average quarterbacks, and really made them look halfway decent. And I think when he was backing up there, when he was a backup there in San Francisco, I think Kyle Shanahan taught him a lot of things because then after that he goes over to the Vikings and he wins. He wins 14 games for the Vikings. They
Yeah.
go 14-3.
Yeah.
And then the Vikings don't, like you said, they don't re-sign him for whatever reason. Then he goes to the Seahawks. He wins 14 games again. He goes 14-3,
Hmm.
and he goes on and wins a Super Bowl. And Leo, did you know that there's only two quarterbacks in the history of the NFL that have ever won back-to-back 14 win seasons?
I had no
Do you know
idea.
which two? Do you know which two quarterbacks those are?
Oh man, I wouldn't even. I don't know, Troy Aikman or Steve Young or Montana. I don't know. Like, I'm just naming greats.
Yeah, those are greats. No,
None of them did it even, huh?
none of them did it. No, Sam Darnold is one of them,
Okay.
and Tom Brady is
No way. That's
the ultimate
crazy.
goat. I'm not
Wow.
saying that Sam Darnold is ever going to be in that category, in that tier as Tom Brady,
Yeah.
but to be even mentioned in the same
Yeah, and
sentence
that same
as
whisper.
Tom Brady, and that's
Yep.
yeah, exactly, in the same conversation.
Yep.
I mean, that's incredible. I
Yeah,
mean, I'm a big
s-
Sam Darnold fan.
so Sam Darnold was drafted 2018, first round, third pick overall by the New York
Yeah,
Jets.
that's what
He's
I thought.
played for the New York Jets from 2018 to 2020, Carolina Panthers from 21 to
Mm,
22, San Francisco in 23, Vikings
hmm.
last year in 24, and now he's won a Super
Yeah.
Bowl with the Seahawks this year. So
Okay, I
five
was missing
different
the Panthers.
five different teams since he was drafted in 2018, and none of them realized his potential until the
Hmm.
Vikings last year, and why they let him go and let JJ McCarthy be the star. I don't get
Right,
it.
right.
Especially after the season that he put up last year. I mean, he had a phenomenal season last year. He was great.
Yeah, he was great last year,
He
and
threw
even this year.
for, if ChatGPT's right, he threw for 4,319 yards last season. Does that sound right?
That's good. Yeah, that does sound
He had
right.
a
He was good.
66.2% completion rating, and
Yeah, he was good last year.
he had a 67% completion rating this year.
Hmm.
Threw for 4,048 yards. Again, if Open Chat is
Still good.
correct, yeah,
That is still phenomenal. I'm even thinking in like the playoffs, like in that NFC Championship game when it was up against the Rams. And we all know that both the Rams and the Seahawks, they both have really good defenses. They know each other really well. They're in the same division. They play each other twice a year. They
mm-hmm.
don't like each other, so there's a lot of bad blood there. And the Seahawks knew they had to score because you have Matthew Stafford, who's a future Hall of Famer, on the sideline. Matthew Stafford just won MVP. He's a future Hall of Famer, and he has a Puka Nakua. He has Devontae Adams.
Right,
He has weapons all over the place. A
yep,
good running backs. And Sam Darnold knew that he's going to have to make some big throws. And man, he made some incredible
yep,
throws in
yep,
the NFC Championship game.
yep.
I mean, those were some Hall of Fame throws.
Right.
I mean, he
And
made some.
he spread it around to Barner
Yeah,
as tight end. He hit
J-
JSN,
yeah,
and Kenneth Walker. I mean, definitely got his share of touches on the ball too. I mean, they really spread that
right.
around a bunch. They
Yeah,
weren't honed in on one spot. When JSN went out, I was worried, dude. I was thinking that the game might flip on that spot.
yeah. In the Super Bowl, yeah,
Yeah, because I mean, he went into the concussion tent, and I don't know if you remember, but they walked him back to the locker room. He was out for most of the
I do
third
remember.
quarter, and I was thinking, man, that's really bad because really, I mean, he's just going to be throwing to, mostly he's gonna be throwing to Barner, and they'll be handing it off to uh, Kenneth Walker, and they did for those that third quarter. Pretty much that's what they did was run that
Right.
ball. So
Right. And going into the Super Bowl, I kind of had the strongest feeling that the Seahawks were going to win that game. I
mhm.
just look at their strength of schedule throughout the whole season. The Seahawks, they had a stronger strength of schedule. If you go and look at the Patriots resume, not taking anything away from the Patriots because they were so bad last year, they only had 4 wins last year.
Yeah,
So to go from 4 wins and get rid of their coach and then hire Mike Vrabel, that was the MVP move
yeah,
or the best move for the Patriots for that year because I do think Mike Vrabel is such a really good underrated coach. I have no idea why the Titans got rid of him to be honest with you because now the Titans are like they're like really bad while the Patriots are like really good now because of Mike Vrabel.
yeah.
But if you go back and look at their strength of schedule and all the games that they played. I mean, they played 2 games against the Jets. I think they played the Saints once. They played like all the worst teams in the NFL, and
Hmm.
so I think that's why their schedule was. I think that's why their record was really
Yeah,
good.
they had a
So
really easy
going
schedule.
a
Yeah,
really easy schedule, and then even in the playoffs, what they played the Texans. I honestly think the Texans have the best defense in the NFL, but their offense is really what's holding them back. And so they were able to squeeze out a win there and win that game. And then they go on and play the Broncos, and they played the Broncos without Bo Nix.
yeah,
I think if Bo Nix plays, I don't think they win that game.
yeah.
I
Probably
do think the
not.
Broncos will win that game.
Yeah,
And so they really didn't have really a tough time getting to the Super Bowl. And so when they played the Seahawks, I just think the Seahawks. I think they were better prepared for the Super Bowl
Yeah,
than the Patriots, just because they had a harder time to get there.
right.
And I do think that does matter. That
Yeah,
matters when you're challenged and you can overcome those challenges. That helps you out so much when
right.
you are playing on the biggest stage.
Yeah, yep. I agree. And I feel like Drake May, uh, Sam Darnold hasn't been to a Super Bowl, but I feel like he's got a little bit more time under his belt.
Sure.
Um,
I thought Drake May played really well this year. I mean, a lot of it you could argue like he played well because of the strength of schedule because they didn't play a whole lot of really difficult opponents, but you can only control what's on your schedule. And he had a Pro Bowl year. I mean, he
yeah,
really did.
yeah.
I
There's
mean, Drake May, I think
no
I think
doubt
he
he had
was
a great,
runner up
no
for
doubt he had a great
for
season, right?
yeah,
But I just think
right.
that like you look at Darnold. Darnold's been sitting behind other great quarterbacks and other great, like you
Hmm.
said, running through the 49ers.
Right.
Been in some great organizations where he's seen a lot of stuff since 2018, whereas Drake was drafted in 2024. So he's only got a couple of years under his belt.
And
And
that matters. That
I
does
think it
matter.
I think it
Hmm.
made the in that last half of the game when the pressure was on, I think that's really where it showed. And I think that
Hmm.
Darnold brought his experience and a lot of that sitting behind other quarterbacks. You can guarantee that Sam Darnold is not the type of quarterback that's sitting there picking his fingernails if he's on the sideline. I guarantee you, if you go back and you look at those games, he's watching what those other quarterbacks are doing. He's studying, and you can tell from last year that he's that type of quarterback because there wasn't hesitation when he got called up out of that second string rank and became their QB1 for Vikings. He was ready, like a
Yeah.
field general
Yeah.
on the battlefield. He was there for it, and I think that experience kind of really may have been the dagger in the heart of this game. Whereas Drake May, I just
Hmm.
don't think has that much experience, and I don't know. There was some really bad decisions I feel like from Drake May in that game. Right before he threw that first interception in the second half, he was throwing into triple coverage multiple times,
Yeah.
and there was a
Yeah.
couple that were close misses on interceptions. And a seasoned quarterback or somebody that's got some experience would look at those near misses where they almost got picked off and say, "Okay, I can't be thrown into triple coverage with two
Right.
linebackers and a safety there, or else it's going to be a problem." And the problem is that he went out there and did that a couple of times, had close misses, and then he did it again, and it got picked off, right? And then the other
Yeah.
problem, and I think that there's some blame to be had on the offensive line because
Big
Patriots
time.
offensive line were just letting him get crushed all game
Yeah.
long. I want to say that they pulled up some stats and they were showing that like there's only one other organization that's let a quarterback get sacked that many times in that particular situation. I think it was the Bengals with Burrow in
I
postseason or playoffs. I'm trying to remember what the stat
I
was.
think I think they broke the record for allowing the most sacks in a
Yeah,
Super Bowl.
it was. I
I
think it
mean,
was
they
six, and they were ruling the seventh one, but I think they took it back because they
yeah,
considered it not a sack because it was
yeah.
it was a forward pass that got interrupted, and
Hmm.
then he fumbled the ball. So I don't think that I think they ended up. It was supposed to be 7 sacks, but I think they ended up ruling it back to six, if I remember right.
Yeah, no, and that's one thing I was going to talk about. It's like, what do you think is like the biggest reason that the Seahawks won? And I was really going to touch on, I think the Seahawks defensive
Oh
line
yeah,
versus the Patriots offensive
yep,
line. I just think the defensive line just crushed them.
yes,
Especially the Patriots rookie left tackle, Will Campbell.
mm-hmm.
He was their first draft pick this year. I think he was drafted fourth overall. He was a left tackle out of LSU,
Mm-hmm.
but he was actually projected. A lot of scouts and analysts were projecting him to possibly move into guard. He played left tackle at LSU, but his projections based on his arm length, because his arms are a little bit shorter.
Mm-hmm.
I think his arms are like 32 inches. He is better in the NFL, or at least he projects better in the NFL as like a left guard or maybe even a
Yeah,
right guard.
yeah,
And it showed up in the Super Bowl. His arms are really long, and he got bulldozed because he has short arms. And with the left tackle, you have to move around a lot. So
yep,
when you have longer arms, that actually helps you out quite a bit.
yeah,
I mean, as a left tackle, you want to have at least 33, possibly 34-inch arms, where his arms are a little bit shorter. I think if the Patriots move him into left guard, I think he can be an all-pro left guard.
Yeah.
I mean, he is really good because then you don't have to worry about all the space.
Yeah.
You just have to worry about bulldozing people
Yeah.
and just mauling people and just being a dog and
Yeah.
really just pushing people out of the way. And
I kind of
and
felt like a lot
open
of
up
the
holes.
collapse and blitz that came on them from the Seahawks was from that right side though. Like a lot
Yeah.
of them, he was dropping back and splitting out to the left, and there was multiple, there was multiple where his line collapsed in front of him and he had to run forward. And I mean, those were some great reads
Yeah,
that he made
yeah.
where he went up and got some first downs. But I don't know, it felt to me more like the right side of the line was collapsing than the left side as much.
Yeah,
But
I think all the way around.
all the way around.
The
Yeah.
pressure was just getting
Yeah.
to him.
Yeah.
I know I saw Will Campbell. He got knocked down. He got bulldozed on his butt like probably two
A
or three
number of
times.
times. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was on the ground.
Yeah.
Um,
So it's
but
always
yeah, I
easy
think
to
that
Monday
was
morning quarterback and say, well, Drake
right.
May could have
Yep,
played better. But
yep,
at the same
exactly.
time, I think, if we were to take Sam Darnold and put him in that same position where his line is just constantly collapsing around him and letting him get sacked, I mean, just
Mhm.
brutalized all game like that. By the fourth quarter, it's likely Sam Darnold might have been throwing some interceptions and might have been fumbling the
Yeah,
ball as well if he'd just been getting, if he'd just been getting wrecked like that all game long. And so, yeah, I mean, I really do feel like that's what probably made the game, because before that, I mean, it was pretty back and forth, and mind you, they were stopping the Patriots from moving the ball. I mean, I think they did 9 or 12 points up before the Patriots ever even scored. And I think
right.
that's really what it was. Is yeah, I just feel like it came down in that game. In my opinion, it came down to the
The
line,
trenches.
the line,
Mhm.
and the linebackers that they were blitzing with. It made all the difference in that game, and I think that's why the Patriots lost.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I will say right now, Gonzalez, the corner for the Patriots, that dude is a baller, man.
Hmm.
That dude, he is a shutdown corner.
Yeah,
He played so well on JSN. He played well the whole game, and
I
I
mean
actually thought,
JSN kind of got shut down through a lot of the game, right? I mean,
yeah, it's
he
because
did
Gonzalez was on him. I mean,
exactly.
Gonzalez was just,
Yep.
yeah, he was shutting him down.
Yeah.
He did really well.
Yeah, I was kind of
Yeah,
surprised at JSN's performance. I was kind of expecting something a little bigger. Mind you, he was injured for some of it. He went out to probably get checked
right,
for concussion. But even before that, even before he went out, I mean, he was there and catching balls, but he wasn't like a hyper force on the field like we've seen him be this whole season long. And like you said, I think that's
right.
because of who they had covering him.
Yeah, yeah, Christian Gonzalez. And I was a big fan of Christian Gonzalez when he came out of college. I thought that was such a really a good draft pick
Hmm.
by the Patriots, and he's proven that he's one of the best corners in the NFL.
Yeah.
And I think that the Patriots, I mean, I think they have a lot going for them. I think that they had some pieces this offseason and maybe nail a couple of their draft picks. I mean, I think that they're going to be one of the better teams in the AFC next year too, and
Yeah.
I think they'll have a real shot of possibly making a run because I'm a big fan of Drake May,
Yeah.
and I do think this experience is going to help him out.
Oh
I think it's
yeah.
going to help out the whole team
Oh
moving
yeah.
forward,
Big time.
especially when you're in the same conference as like Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, and then like Josh Allen and the Bills. With those are considered like the big dogs, right?
Yep.
And he's like, we went to the Super Bowl and those teams didn't. I mean, that is just that's gonna build their confidence,
Yeah.
and I do think that that's gonna help them going into into next season.
Yeah, for sure.
But piggybacking off what you said earlier about like if you would have flipped sides like Sam Darnold be on the Patriots and then having him get bulldozed and having him get sacked and everything like that. That's one of the biggest, like one of my biggest pet peeves with when it comes to quarterbacks. I know quarterbacks get all the credit for like rings and everything like that, but really what it comes down to is who has at the end of the season. It's who has the better team, not the better quarterback.
Yep.
Who has the better team,
Yep.
and who is the luckiest team that didn't have to deal with injuries throughout
Yeah.
the whole season.
Yep.
That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah.
I mean, you have Josh Allen. I'm a big Josh Allen fan, And I mean, yeah, I hear a lot of him choking in the playoffs, and he has had his fair share of clunkers in the playoffs.
Hmm.
But I honestly think he's one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL. I just think that yeah, he just needs to have a better team around him because I think he's great. He just needs to have more weapons
Yeah.
around him.
Yep. Well, it'll be interesting to see
So,
how that goes next year. I mean, I definitely feel
yeah,
like both of those quarterbacks have some big prospects this next year. We'll kind of see what happens through the draft, and we'll probably have to. I don't know. Maybe we'll cover that on the live stream. See if we can
yeah,
cover which teams are drafting. I know Luke's kind of he loves checking out the college players, so he'll probably do a little bit of research and come back with some knowledge about which teams are drafting and maybe some of the mock draft stuff. We could even pull up some of that and take a look at it in our next live stream. All right, so I think that's our recap on Super Bowl. If you watch this video and you have a different opinion, leave us a comment and let us know. If you enjoyed this discussion, definitely hit the like button. And we'd love to have you in the comments. Bro Talk doesn't just mean that him and I are talking. We'd love to invite you guys to join the discourse and let us know what you guys thought about the Super Bowl, what you guys thought about the game, the quarterback play, and how everything went. And we'll catch you guys on our next live stream. And until next time, Bro Talk Sports out. See you guys later.
yep. See ya.